Hi Flosstube, it's Linda Richter. I'm popping in because it's Christmas time here in Texas in the US. Hope everyone is having a wonderful December. Not sure how this is going to go, but I thought I would give a house tour of all my decorations. I'm a little late getting it all up, but that's kind of what happened. This last couple months have been kind of crazy. I think I shared in my last Flosstube, which was 11. This is going to, I'm going to call this 12 just because, but I never know how to organize the numbers of these floss tubes, but for now I'll give the tour of the house. I'm not going to pop it in, I'm just going to walk slowly and hopefully not make anybody sick and just share. So I'm going to turn my camera around so that you get a better view of what's going on around here. And then after that, I will pause the video and pop it in, pop myself in with just the things that I've worked on the last couple weeks since I've been on. So let's get started here in the living room. Let me turn this around if I can, figure out how to do it. Well, let me pause the video, then I'll turn the camera around and pop back on. Okay, we're back and I'll turn myself around, and like I said, I'll try not to go too fast. But this is the main living room that we're in, and this is kind of what I do every year. This year's a little different in where I've placed a few things because we didn't get, let's see, how many boxes do I have? I want to say there's a good 40 boxes up in the attic. And out of those 40, I think we took 30 to 35 down. So there's still a few up there that we didn't put out. Like I said, November was a little crazy, and by the time we got to decorating, it was in December. And I like to be done by the 11th, and today is the 19th. So we are a little late in finishing, but I literally just finished decorating everything yesterday. And you'll see why, because there's just a lot of little things. But the TV area here, I put a garland with some candle lights, and of course in the center we have the manger scene. You're going to find a lot of those around because the reason for the season in our house is Jesus was born on Christmas, and of course died for our sins and rose again. So that's our Easter story. So we love to wrap Christmas around Jesus in our household. But these little Santas, they light up, but I didn't plug them in this year with time. But I found those at an antique shop that I just love. We've got Mrs. Claus there, and over here we have Santa and his sack of toys. And what I like to do is just take even if it's old, an old green ivy, and I just find all the different bows and bulbs, and I just attach them on in some semblance of a way with some colored lights. And over the years we've had to switch out lights. All the nutcrackers that you'll see, most of them were my father-in-law's, and when he passed we pretty much inherited all those. And like these candle holders that I've got them standing on, those were my mother-in-law's. And I just kind of decorate a few here and there. Of course we have our Christmas card caddy, family and people that have sent me their cards, and a choo-choo train. I like to put my pine cones out every year and put them in a bowl, just kind of decorate everything up. And I love glitter, as you can tell. Got some Christmas books going down there and some DVDs for my grandbaby. I like to decorate the fireplace up with cotton and lights underneath shining through. There's my Mr. and Mrs. Santa that I crocheted 2 years ago, I guess it was. But that's kind of the area here in the fireplace. Stockings hung. Another Christmas tree over here with a manger scene. And like I said, you'll see lots of manger scenes sitting around. And like I said, all these nutcrackers were my father-in-law's, so I used to put them on my china cabinet in the dining room. But this year I did a little something different, and when we get in there I'll share that. I have a little stocking that I put my little cards on for my cat, Frack, and Buster, who have long since passed quite a few years ago, but I still like to hang their stockings. We still have an empty one, but that one will be Briar's. I'm in process of making that, so I'll share that on my Flosstube when I share my plans. Put some trees up there, lighted. They're just timers, and the candles. And the word joy holds a few more stockings. Got my two kids, my grandbaby, my daughter's boyfriend, and then, like I said, the pets, and then I have a stocking for myself. So that's why there's so many up there. So that's the mantle area. And let's slowly go over here. I just put a little garland on the picture. And over here on the bookshelf we have some lights. And let's see, little mini nutcrackers there. I just cover the columns that we have with cotton and put lights underneath to shine through. It gives a nice little festive look. Let's do the coffee table here. I do this different every year usually, but for this year, I always put the manger scene, the globe there in the middle with these candles, but just found some greenery and twinkle lights, put those in there. Oops, I'm noticing my thing fell off here. Let's get that back up there. There we go. Stick that back on there. And these light glasses things, you look at the twinkle lights. I don't know if it'll do it with my camera or not, but we can try. Let's see, who is this? This is the Christmas star. See if I put this up here, if you can kind of see what I see when I look through it. Yeah, like if you're looking at that little tree, you get the Christmas star. So it gives it just a kind of a neat little look when you look at all the lights. So that's the star. And then if you want to see some candy canes. So I forget where I bought these. This one's not giving a very good look. Let's try the bells and the ornaments. Yes, not as good as the star. There's tons of them that you can find. These ones are supposed to be snowmen. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, they've got dots on those kinds. So the best one is the star. And that is my favorite one, the Christmas star. So those are fun. Thought my grandbaby, when she gets a little older, will enjoy that. I just decorate with pillows on the sofas, and I have a manger blanket there. And on this little sofa chair, we have my mother-in-law's pillows and a snowman with a few more nutcrackers over here on the table. And this little Christmas card I've saved every year. It's like a little pop-up. It says Merry Christmas. Whoops, let me see if I can get it in my hand properly. There we go. And it's just really, there, give you a little more light. So you just unfold it. And then my husband has one on his table over there that's a choo-choo train, because he loves trains. Let's go over there slowly and we'll get around to the villages. Got another nutcracker over here for 4th of July. He collected so many. And so this area here, if you can see, I've got garland going over top of the window. And we love colored lights, so that's why everything has colored lights. The villages came. I've collected over the years a few of them. but the majority of the ones that are like motion, like the windmill, those were my father-in-law's also. So I enjoyed just putting the scenes together in all these little villages. It's fun for me. It's like playing dollhouse. Got Santa's parade going, and we've got a caroler at the church in front of the nativity scene. And I love the ones like the one in the back there that says Tannenbaum Christmas Shop. You can actually see a little scene in the windows. So I have a few of those in the kitchen that I'll share, but I really enjoy those ones too. Those were my father-in-law's. This blue house here is special to me because I found it at an antique shop, but I forget the name of the line of houses that they are. They're not the Dickens. I think it's Station 56 or something like that. But the name on that house is called Elmwood. And when I grew up in Michigan, the name of the street that I lived on was Elmwood. So when I found that house at the antique shop, I had to buy it. So I thought that was kind of neat. Then down here we have another scene in the window at the toy shop. And then there's Santa's workshop also. And another church down here with a caroler singing Christmas carols. And of course a coffee shop. Actually I have two coffee shops, but I've got one under here and one in the kitchen. And then the Silver Thimble, which is a craft shop, a sewing store. I miss those so much, but when I found that one, I had to buy it and put that in my collection. So the scale on my villages aren't perfect, but I still enjoyed doing it. Then we have some snowmen over here on my snowflake tree. And I love this tree because my mother made me those crocheted snowflakes. I've not attempted to try it. I'm sure I could do it, and then you starch them, but oh, I love each one of these. They're just so pretty. So every year those come out, and they stay out through February because of winter time. So those are fun. And then I've got a wreath here and some bows over here. I just kind of decorate the corner, and the tables get covered. There's no room for anything. We have some snowmen and some glitter ornaments, and another Deck the Halls house with a scene in there. Christmas shop, which is fun, and carriage rides, and manger scene, and my Thomas Kincaid clock. These things you collect over the years. Another area, I had to set up several village areas with all the houses that I have. I just put out a table behind the sofa here and cover it with cotton and poinsettias. We've got St. Nicholas's Christmas tree stand, and a little area for the kids to ice skate and play in the snow. And this toy shop, this one actually works. You can see the toys in there and spinning around. It's just fun to have motion with some of the houses. And another church, and the ballroom over here with them all dancing around. And of course a train station. Like I said, my husband loves trains. When he was younger, he used to build them up in his basement. And when my father-in-law bought this, we were like, this is so cute. And now I've inherited it, like I said, and we put it up every year. Okay, I've got a little area over here where Briar eats when she comes and visits, so I've got a little chair set up here. This is her high chair. I probably should get a real one, but I'm noticing these aren't on. I forgot to put my candles in the candle sticks. But I have all these battery-operated things, so we buy the rechargeable batteries so that we don't waste them. And then they time out after 6 hours, I think. But I just love them. They actually look like lit candles. And this I've had since we've been married. My mother-in-law bought this for us when we first got married, and I put this out every year. And I've got my Christmas tree plates that I've mostly been gifted to me every Christmas from a friend. More nutcrackers and placemats. Then we have the lighted twinkle lights. I love doing that in the flowers, just battery operated again on timers. And over here, this area I've pretty much designated for my memory of my mother and father-in-law, because a lot of these things over here were theirs. This is a ornament box that it's like an advent calendar, and every day you take out an ornament and read the verse. There's verses on them. So we're on day 19, which I've already hung up here on this garland that I put on top of the, we call this a hall tree. But as you can see, there's 19 ornaments and some green lights with Santa's hats. And then this one we love. My father-in-law loved this ornament, and you put batteries in it. So we love playing that every year. And of course we showed it to my grandbaby yesterday and she just loved it. So that will be a special ornament in our family. We've got some manger scenes down here that I light up and put on out every year with some nutcrackers as well. So now, well, before we go into the dining room, let's go into the kitchen. Like I said, I put some twinkle lights in most all of my ornaments that I have sitting around. Just the coffee areas that we have here on the counter. Not real festive, but I do put out my canisters that have that festive look, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Santa cups are over here. And I make my tea in this area. So I put tea here, and of course we put out the towels and things. And then my main coffee area that I love, I've got red lights in, and that other coffee house. It's called the Coffee Grounds. So this is that with some salt and pepper shakers that are snowmen that I've just decorated on top of my coffee machine with some red and silver coffee mugs. And I decorate the front of the fridge with magnets. And of course my children had ornaments over the years, so I put those up there. And more nutcrackers and lots of Christmas teaware and dishes. Bells on the doors, an apron that, I don't know if I found that or someone gave it to me. I think one of my friends appliqued that on there and gave it to me. It's been too many years. Yeah, now that I look at it, it's hand sewn. I used to clean houses for church members, and one of them has an embroidery machine, so she made me that one year. And I have door hangers of bells everywhere. And growing up as an 60s child, the bubble lights were a big thing in our house. So my mother had bubble lights, so when I found these, I had to get a couple. There's different ones, but that one I love, as well as these poinsettia lights. This is just the stove area that I've lit up with another nativity light there. And then, of course, the candy station. Gotta have one of those in everybody's kitchen, right? A sweet fix. This got a little changed from last year. I usually have them laying on the floor, but with the grandbaby this year, I tried to keep everything fairly up off the floors. So I didn't do that. So that's one of the reasons most of these houses are all over the house now, because I had to find places to put them. This is an ornament tree that someday I'll use for my cross stitch when I get enough ornaments made. But right now I've got cookie cutters on there, Christmas cookie cutters, and some glitter ornaments. It actually spins, but with all that on there, I decided not to let it spin. A lot of these big houses have broken over the years. There's 3 of them in here that don't work, but they're still pretty to look at. We have the Christmas shop there, as well as pizza by the slice, and that's like the ones I was talking about. You can see in the windows. Got a man making some pizza in there, and then we got them eating at the table. And then anything left over, I just kind of decorate in baskets, put the flowers in the basket, and the poinsettias out. And then the Nutcracker Suite, it didn't work 2 years ago, so I just still set it out. It's still pretty to look at. And the wreath that I made with some more nutcrackers sitting around. And we've got a house here with Santa at the chimney. And a little boy looking out the window, anticipating Christmas morning. And this one stopped working last year. But the Ferris wheel used to spin. But it's just pretty to look at and see the people in their little swings. So that's the window area in the kitchen. And then I have my bar area here with some nutcrackers. And I don't know where I found these Santas, but they're for wine bottles. And then I put lights in them. I don't have them on right now, but they light up. Actually, this one does look like it's on. I forgot to turn that one off. So the batteries are probably dead now. And then we got a couple bottle covers up there with Santa and some reindeer and snowmen. They're just like those beanbag, you can fill them. They're really cute. And some snowmen here. And then of course we've got the nutcracker representing the grapes and the wine. And then there's one over here for the beer. So that's what I do on this area. Now on this glass, I love this glass. I found it at an antique shop. I'm surprised I haven't broke it yet, but we put that out every Christmas. Got the Christmas tree. Whoever blew that when they made it, that must have been something to see. The glass blowers, they're just kind of amazing. Another village over here. These ones were mostly my father-in-law's. This tree used to work, but I put twinkle lights in it this year because it's not working. But I still set it out. And we've got a Belgian Waffle House, another winery, a grocery store. I like the bed and breakfast. I love Victorian type things, so those are just so pretty to me. That's why I like the Dickens villages. When I see those, it's like, oh yes. Got some ice skaters going on the ice back there. And another gift shop. I just love putting these together with the people and the pets and the animals. They're just fun to do. I used to have a dollhouse when I was a child, so I think that's where it comes from. Have to play with your toys. Up here, I have, these were my father-in-law's clocks. He loved anything Swiss or Austria. So that's what those are up there. I just put up my cookie jar with the snowman around my other normal decor. When that comes down, it's not so crowded looking. And then of course my table setting here. Got false graph mostly, but I love to set it out with my snowflakes and ribbons. The red and the green, traditional Christmas. And another area here, lastly in the kitchen, is memory of my mother-in-law. She loved cardinals, so a lot of these ornaments were hers, so I just set them out here. This one I'm noticing half of the lights are going out. I'm not sure what's going on there. Things get old. There it goes. But yeah, she loved the cardinal tray. And then I have a little, this used to work, but it doesn't work now. A little train going around the Christmas tree and the fireplace. Mr. and Mrs. Santa kissing. Another manger scene over here. Looks like the light came out of the manger scene. The baby Jesus. And of course, the reason for the season. Jesus is the reason for the season. Just kind of light everything up. I love lights, especially at Christmas time. I usually do it in all my arrangements, like I said, throughout the year, but when it comes to Christmas, I kind of do that. So that's the kitchen. And then lastly is the dining area and the front entryway. Of course, let's see, that's the one angle of the main tree with the choo-choo train around it. Most everything that's under here has some kind of batteries. I didn't put them in everything, but a few things we can show you here. So besides that, and you'll see a lot of Charlie Brown. My kids grew up and loved Charlie Brown, so we've collected a lot of little figures. And when I was growing up, we had the really big ones for the Peanuts, and I don't know whatever happened to them, but I miss those. But when I seen these, I had to get those. And of course, the tree with the bulb, Linus in the tree. Then there's a little figure here with him, and Snoopy. There's Charlie Brown down there, and the Christmas tree story. And you watch it if you've ever seen it. You've got to. Lots of ornaments on the tree that we just love. There's Santa ones that are special. I love these kind of ornaments, and of course the crystal ones, things that glitter, just so pretty. And Woodstock and Snoopy. I don't think I put batteries in these, but these all spin. This is a snow globe. I don't think this one works. No, I didn't put batteries in these, I forgot. Music boxes. Of course, another manger scene with the blue light in it. And then, of course, we've got Rudolph and their little figures under here. Lots of figures that I think my grandbaby will love and enjoy over the years. We've got Sally over here.
Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me? You write it and I'll tell you what I want to say. I have been extra good this year.
So these are the ones that work. This one's hilarious. I've got to share this with you. It fell over yesterday when I did it, so I don't know. I might do it again, but this one dances. There it goes. So that one's fun. There's another one that dances back there. And then we've got Lucy and Peppermint Patty. So I have these down here for my grandbaby. And as she grows, she can play with them. And then of course, that moose back there is for my son. He gave it to me one Christmas. I need to change the day till Christmas because I think we're only 6 days away, guys. And up here is another manger scene that I just decorate. The sculpture up there is special to us. My father-in-law actually sculpted that, so I remember the year we brought it to Texas from Michigan. That thing is so heavy. But we decided to give it a nice spot in the house, and we thought that was perfect for it. And then at Christmas time when we decorate, it's just the reason for our season, like I've been saying. So that's special to us, knowing that he handmade that. And like I said, the main tree, I'm not sure, maybe 11, 12 feet tall. And we'll do one spin around with the choo-choo, and then I'll share the dining area. Oop. Uh-oh, we're derailing. No derails. Yeah. Come on, there it goes. Give it a push, here it comes. Oh, it's stuck. Come on. Sometimes it goes and sometimes it won't. Stop it for now. So that works. My grandbaby's afraid of it a little bit when it first starts, but when we're all happy and waving at it, she gets a little less scared. So hopefully over the years that won't happen. All right, so moving into this area, and then we'll call it done for the tour. Like I said, that's why it takes me almost 2 weeks to put this up, because I go a little nuts. I've collected some Santas that my husband just loves, so I put those out every year with some more nutcrackers from my father-in-law. In the china cabinet, usually I put my dishes so that the tables aren't so clustered looking. But since I had no room and I didn't want things on the floor for my grandbaby to get a hold of, I decided to put a lot of the village smaller houses in the china cabinet. And so, I don't know if, probably opening the door would be best so you can actually see what's in there. I just make little scenes up in here with twinkle lights that are battery operated, as well as down here, and the cars and the people, as well as up here. It just was fun for me to do it this way this year. I put cotton down, and battery operated lights are best that are timed so that you don't have to keep opening and closing. There's maybe 3 lights in here that I have to turn off myself. But those chargeable batteries are great. They last a long time. I think not even every 2 weeks I go in there and they're still lit. So just really liking how this turned out this year. It was fun to do. And then we have some houses up here. Some of the lights I've stuck underneath the houses so that you can see the lights in the windows. But these are those Walmart houses, like these ones here, 99 cents, and like the church. But I've had them for years, and I've added to them over the years. And we've got a little scene skating down here with the snowmen. The pictures back here, I was putting those on my fireplace the last few years, but since I was needing to make it look like a town, I thought they'd be cute there in the back. And then lastly, on this side, I have a Christmas tree with the manger scene and a schoolhouse. And then another skating rink up here. And I put trays in behind the 2 shelves up here, just festive trays. It was very fun. A little boy carrying his Christmas tree. So that's the china cabinet. And that probably took me the longest because of all the little figures. But like I said, I just finished it yesterday. So it'll be up for at least middle of January, most of the decorations. This I thought I would keep up through February because it took me that long to get it up, and I just want to enjoy it. Up top is, like I said, I used to put all my nutcrackers, I'd line them all the way across and down. But this year, I think it was Country Stitchers. Deb was giving her tour, and it just inspired me to do something different. And I was like, I have to try at least. So that's kind of thanks to Deb's tour of her Christmas stuff. I got a bunch of stuff together and said, well, let's just see what I come up with. and I'm pleased. The lights on some of those trees are getting old. You've got the ambient ones, and then you've got the LED ones, and I'm not crazy about the LED, but that's all I had, so I didn't want to go out and buy any more. And then I finished this also yesterday. I am pleased with the chandelier. I do it different every year, but this year I really like it. I put twinkle lights up the row with the bulbs hanging and a little bit of garland. And then these pyramids were, 2 of them were my father-in-law's, and then I think we have a total of 4. The other 2 we found at antique shops that we had purchased. So we put those out every year, and on Christmas Day we usually light the candles at least once. And I did this table similar to last year, where I put little winter scenes on either side of the pyramids, which I love. I love the blue lights. They just give it a very peaceful feel. And with Christmas music going, it's just so festive. And those are my Thomas Kincaid houses that I love, that light up. And the Noel and peace signs, I think I got those at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, one of the 2. And over the years, we've collected plates and glassware. Some are getting old, but I don't think we actually eat on them. I just use them for decor. And then the window area, we have another pyramid and a manger scene. And I just put bulbs inside the glass here. Gives it a festive look. And I actually use napkin rings for the collars of the lights. Like I said, I've had these candles going almost 2 weeks now, and they still look bright. So the battery operated, or the rechargeable batteries that we buy, are really good. I'm gonna have to continue to do that. That was an outside wreath last year, but since we didn't do a whole lot outside, we did do a little, but we didn't put the wreaths in the windows like we did because of time. I just hung it here in the window this year. I thought it turned out good with some garland that I always do above the window. And then I cover my columns. Someone gave us a poinsettia this year, and I decorated that area with some nutcrackers and another wreath on this door, as well as that tree was my father-in-law's, so we put that out every year. And then the front entryway, I just decorate with my candles and more nutcrackers. And then more gadgets, all kinds of stuff. I forgot to light these guys up. Some of the batteries have gone out. I noticed like that red candle needs to be recharged. But these light up as well. And this tree, if you take everything off of it, it looks like a Charlie Brown tree, but I just decked it out, covered it with everything. That Noel used to be on my mother-in-law's front door. And then my snowmen down here. And some carolers down there with the twinkle lights. And then I light, it looks like we got packages out there. I light the wreaths up here, and I put the little, they're not sticky, when it's cold it actually sticks. It's just that plastic stuff, but it sticks nicely. Let me grab these and I'll share the front porch, and we'll call the tour done. It's a little chilly out today. You can see I put some icicles in the trees, as well as this present is lit up at night. I'll probably add my video at the end that has the nighttime lights, and then you can see the candelabras in the windows. So I have some video that I'll put at the end that share what it looks like out front. Got a manger scene, and then other than that, another manger scene under this tree. I decorate the pillows, and then this ornament here I put white lights on, and at night it looks like a snowflake. And that present lights up as well in between there. So that's it, guys. That is the house tour. And I will be a second here, but I will sit down here in the living room and share with you my plans as well as what I've worked on my cross stitch for my Flosstube12. But I wanted to share this first at the beginning so that I didn't have too much to deal with. So we'll see you in a second. I totally forgot that there's a couple of areas I didn't share, so I'm going to pop this in here as well. This little tree here, I wanted to share. I found these at Hallmark, and I don't know if you can see in the light or not, but some of the snowmen have names on them that we've had put on for my children, my grandma and grandpa, which now I can claim, but also from years past we've used them for my father-in-law. Then there's one for my husband and my daughter. So if anybody knows where they have these, I'm looking to find something similar for my grandbaby. We got to get one for my grandbaby. So that's kind of fun for me to find those kind of things. And then this is our chair of cheer. Whenever we open gifts every year, the designated person that's opening has to sit in this chair. And then in my husband's music room, I wanted to share a few things. Of course, we have our little Christmas tree or Christmas card holder. And down the hallway, I'll share in a second, but there's a kissing ball is what it's called, as well as a wreath here that we received from a family member. We get them every year, and they just, instead of having a real tree, because that is not a real tree, we've always do some kind of live ornament or wreath, and it just smells up the house so nicely, like a real tree. But in here in the music room is what I decorate a little bit also with some of my husband's favorite ornaments that were his dad's. They're fun, and I think they're really not toys per se, so I don't know if we'll let our grandbaby play with them, but we will share them with her. But they're those little pull toys that years ago my father-in-law collected, and we inherited those. And there's a cat down there, and over here we have some toy soldiers, nutcrackers, I guess is what you call them. They're just fun to, and then ones that look like Swiss, more nutcrackers. And we are also a fan of, I don't know if you know who Andre Rieu is, but around Christmas time he has a lot of festive music. And so they have a special song that they sing that's, let's see if I can get up here to get it. I don't want to fall. But it's a baker man, and they dance around the kitchen making Christmas cookies. So I found these at the store and had to buy them. Of course, we also have the flutes and the harpist and carolers singing. So we kind of just decorate the top up, and then the little drummer boy, of course. But yeah, if you want some real festive music for Christmas, check out Andre Rieu. It's R-I-E-U, I think is how you spell his last name, and Andre. It's just fun Christmas music. And then, of course, my husband gets his own tree. He's a music guy, so I have to have all the music ornaments over in this tree. He's a flutist, but there's drums and trumpets and violins and harps of all sorts, and bells, anything that's music made. And then there's Lucy playing her flute. He had to have that. And another manger scene with the tree skirt, which is a Santa cape. I don't know where I found that, but I thought that was so cute. And then, of course, all the musical nutcrackers came in here. Drummers, violinists, trumpets, and just the fun things. So that's what we do in here. And like I said, we have the candles in the windows, so at night they light up. And he loves collecting Santa Clauses, big and little. So all of his collections so far, over the last few years anyway, we've collected a few. And I love this little ornament here. Let's see if I can turn it on real quick. I should have had it on already, but totally forgot about his music room. But this is the only other room that I decorate. I usually do all of the rooms, but not this year. No time. So that's a fun one. It's upside down in a chimney, and you turn it on and it just kind of does its thing. But we've collected a few Santas over the years, and that's his collection there. And then down the hallway, I just wanted to share this part of my haul, which I'll get to in my Flosstube here in a minute. But on the doors, I had to purchase these little, they're like letterboard things. But the kids were here yesterday, and I had to have something to tell them, no, they can't go in these rooms. So I found these at Walmart, and I just put on them. Santa's Workshop, do not enter. And then this is Elf Workshop, Merry Christmas. So I'm not going to go in elves because it's a disaster. I'm in the process of doing lots of crafts, so I've got things just laying on the floor. But this is what I have as plans, so we'll get started with just plans right now. This is my week. I have to wrap everything that's on the floor in here. Most of it's for Briar, but a lot of it is like my kids and my husband. And of course the stockings got to get stuffed. So that is my project for plans this next week. And give me a second and I'll get my projects that I've been working on and share those with you. See you in a minute. I guess I didn't go outside either in the back, but this is the back patio. I thought I'd pop this in there as well. I just do a few things out here on the areas that we enjoy. I've done it a lot more last year. We had lights all throughout the yard, but no time this year. So I just decorated a few of the tables here where we sit. And of course, one more tree, more woodsy animals and outside animals, squirrels, owls, and birds. I love this tree. If I ever do get a country house, this is the kind of tree I want in my house. Although it'll be so hard not to put all the other decorations that are used over the years. But that's the back patio this year anyway. On my channel, I probably have previous years what I've done in the past for Christmas, but it got away from me this year, but I wanted to share a little bit of what we do outside as well as indoors. Okay, so back to the Flosstube. Okay guys, I am back. That for me, I mean for you it was only a second, but for me it was more like probably an hour. I had to turn off some lights from the tour that I was giving, and so this Flosstube might be a little choppy. I didn't say I'm Richter Stitcher from Flosstube. This is number 12. I might have said it earlier in a clip, but this will probably be pieced together, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to be festive, being December and not even 6 days before Christmas. So today's the 19th of December. We're not in January yet. So I was able to get a little lunch, and now I want to share just the things that I've worked on the last 2 weeks, I think it's been, maybe. It was the first week in December when I came on. Yeah. Time gets away, but it's been a long stretch from Thanksgiving to now. Like I was saying, it takes me 2 to 2.5 weeks to put this up, and we didn't get started till the first week in December. So I do want to enjoy it. It's very calming and peaceful, and it is our belief that you know, we celebrate Jesus' birth at Christmas time, so I have all that set out to remind me of those special times. And then, of course, my grandbaby. I want her to enjoy the lights too. I mean, even before she came, we always overdid like this, but my kids are grown and out of the house, and it gives me something to do. I don't work outside the home, so it's special. And to sit down here in the evening at night and just see all the lights on, it's just, I love it. So I wanted to share that with you all on a tour. And then my floss tube part, like I said, with all the decorating, I haven't done a whole lot of stitching. I thought my plans from the last video, I said I was going to make a bunch of gifts and send them. Well, they're still in process. They'll get them, they just won't be their Christmas this year because, like I said, the decorating got in the way. So I wanted to get that completed, and as of yesterday, I am totally decorated, and it will stay up through January. Mid-January, I'll probably start thinking about some things that can come down. Most of the villages that are out in here in this area will probably come down, but my china cabinet one will probably stay up through February, since it's a wintry scene. It's not per se Christmas, but in past years, I've taken and left like all the snowflakes and separated the two, but I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I've just, like I said, it's a bit much. So with the trees everywhere that you've seen and the lights, it's a bit to put it out and then to put it away. So it will be up for a good 4 weeks. But as for what I've been doing, let's start with, this was supposed to be a gift for my daughter's birthday, which we celebrated yesterday, but it was actually a week ago. It's the Winnie the Pooh. I thought I'd finish it and get it framed, but it didn't happen either. But it's coming, and I'm so close. I'm thinking I can get this done for a Christmas present, but if not, she'll get it once I finish it. It's just how long that takes, I don't know. So I'm working on Pooh, and I've done all the words. This is a freebie that I found online, so sharing it's probably okay. But I worked on it again last night and got a little more of the body done in his arm area. So I'm really enjoying just the process of it. And I will just probably frame it into a small frame when I finish it and give that to her. That's one of her favorite sayings, and she loves Winnie the Pooh. So that's in process still. So that was one thing that I worked on. I think I shared what I was making last time. They're the bowl cozies. They will get to my sisters, but just not for Christmas. I've got them pinned and ready. They just need to be run through the sewing machine. I just have not been in my craft room doing any of the sewing that I've been wanting. So I've got quite a few pinned and ready to go. I just love these Christmassy prints. So those are a few that I've gotten pinned and ready to go. And that will be something that I will take pictures of and probably share on my Instagram when I finish them and what they look like. But the pattern is from a guild here in the Dallas area. It's just the soup bowl cozies. I don't know if you can see that picture. It's black and white. Let me see if I have a colored one. Comes out better. It's probably in my other book. Here's a picture of the shape that it will be when it finishes down here in the bottom. You can see that. But I do look forward to doing these every year. I've done them a couple times. And you just take 2 different fabrics with some batting in the middle. And if you are going to use them in the microwave, you got to remember everything, even the thread, has to be 100% cotton. And you don't leave it in the microwave very long, but it helps when you're pulling the bowl out of the microwave not to burn yourself. And I use them every morning for my oatmeal. I've made myself a couple, and I just enjoy giving them as gifts. They're simple to do, and like I said, it just takes me longer to do it with everything that's been going on. The other thing that I worked on that I wanted to share I'm gonna do this in a piece, is the framing for my Christmas piece, Baby It's Cold Outside, and I think that's a Beth Twist pattern. I didn't actually bring the pattern in here, but I've shared the finished product, and I actually was brave with the help of a friend and cut the piece down to the size that I wanted it to be for the frame that I'm going to use. I found this frame, or this frame was given to me, and it's one of those really easy ones. Let's see if I can get close up to the camera, where you just snap in the corners. So this one will not have glass on it because it came just with the frame, and I don't have little kids and hands, and so with this piece I think it'll be fine without a piece of glass. I can always probably find a piece if I needed to, but that's what it's going to be. And then if I'm in frame, I hope I am, the batting that's on here I've cut already, and it's on the sticky board, and then I'll have the space between here and here. I pulled out all my fabrics and came down to two colors, red or green, because I thought maybe having a green might enhance the trees that are on there. So I left it up to my husband, and he chose the red. So this is the red that I'll be using. It's just a yard of fabric that I found at Walmart, and I thought it went well with the house, so I think it'll look really nice. I just have to cut the strips and sew them onto the actual piece, and then I'll probably do the brown paper on the back. I think it was the So-and-So's that shared how she sprays it with water and it shrinks up on the back, so I think that'll be what I do for this piece. But I'm hoping to get to that this week. I'm not sure I'll actually hang it. It might just prop somewhere in the house until next year when we actually find a spot for it in the house. But I actually got it to fit in the frame, so that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. I just need to sew on the material and then fix the back, and then maybe put a wire hanger on the back of that. So I'm really excited about getting that finished. It's getting really close now to being a fully finished object. So that was the other thing. And then I'll share a little bit of my haul that I purchased a couple days ago. And in the video you've seen the haul that I need to wrap, so I'm not going to go share that again, but that's all the gifts that I need to wrap. Those were all purchased this past week. So I need to get that all under the tree before Saturday night is the goal. Most of it will be, but I am having the kids come over Christmas Eve, and we always open, we're the traditional, everybody gets a pair of pajamas or some kind of nightwear on Christmas Eve, and then everything else gets opened on Christmas Day. So I'm excited to actually have them both coming on the same day, or both days, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Plus our church gives a Christmas Eve service that we just want traditions to start with our grandbaby, and so we'll be doing that together on Christmas Eve. So we're excited about starting new traditions. And besides that, and another tradition you probably noticed on the mantle, I think I mentioned, there's no stocking on one of the holders, because I actually found, I'm not going to be able to piece this, but it's going to be pretty large, a very simple stocking pattern. All I have to do is cut out the fabrics and sew them together. So I think it'll go really simple. It's one of my sewing channels. I can't think of her name, but I'll link it below. And I think it's called The Sewing Room. But she has a tutorial, a tutorial to simply put together a quick stocking. And it comes in like 3 different sizes. So of course I got the biggest size because it is my grandbaby. So it'll be the biggest stocking up there, even bigger than the one that's hanging there. So I am going to put that together before Saturday also. So those are 2 goals that kind of go to the top of the list for me. So the stocking, and then hopefully getting that framed, as well as the Winnie the Pooh, are my plans to work on all this week besides the wrapping. I think that's going to be enough for me to tackle. Oh, these are the fabrics that I'm going to use. I was going to share that. It just takes a lining and then the front, but this is a Disney fleece, so it'll be a fleece stocking, and it could be for Valentine's, but since it's for my grandbaby and she loves Mickey and Minnie, and it has hearts all over it because I love her, I'm going to use the Mickey as the outside, and instead of doing the white trim like most of them have, I'm going to do this lining and have it hang over the top, which I think goes really well together. So I'm excited for that, and they're both the heavy fleece, so it'll be soft on the inside and on the trim or rim, and then the flannel will be the actual stocking. So that is my plans for the stocking on those two materials. As for haul, like I said, all the gifts in there, but when you're at the store buying gifts, there's always other things that I find. And this was at Walmart. They had these big sleds for only $5. And I thought these, I don't prefer the black, so I might paint it, and I'm not, it doesn't have to have the snowflake on there. Just the sled itself is fine in the color that I'd like. But for a framed piece or a finish, I got a lot of Christmas finishes that I can do. So I thought these were perfect. I might even go back and see if they have them after Christmas on sale, because they make great size for framing. And some of the pieces are really small, so because of that, they also had, I didn't take it out of the plastic, and I don't want it to be really noisy, unless I can slip my finger in here. Oh yes, I can. This is good. Excuse the crinkle. I'll just drop that. But they had these little sleds too. And if you move around the garland, or even pull it off and put your piece on there, and then maybe decorate the garland up here or on the top or off to the side, that is a perfect size for some of the small finishes that I've seen for ornaments and things. So I thought these would make cute little frames as well. So I purchased 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm just going to store those in my craft room until I get a finish that I want to put on these. And these would make great gifts, I think, too. So I purchased a couple of those. Those were only $2, I think. No, $3 a piece. So not too bad for a frame, not having to buy huge pieces. So I did that as a purchase, as well as a couple of these. They're called snow globes. Let's see if I can get this out of here quickly. Yeah. And they're the perfect size, and instead of, you could just do what they have here, which is a coloring piece, and it just unscrews and slides out. But if you have a framed piece that you want to use and just cut it that shape, I'm thinking a nice cross stitch piece in these for winter time. And you could do back to back, because there's two sides. So you could have a total of 2 in each one. So I bought 2 of those, which means there could be 4 ornament pieces in here. This is what I'm thinking. So I did more ornament frame type purchases while I was doing my Christmas shopping, and thought, these I can just store away in a drawer until I'm ready to frame one of those pieces, and they were $5 a piece, so not too bad. And like I said, it's all from Walmart. And then, of course, whenever I go into a store, if they sell DMC, I'm gonna pick up my DMC. I was specifically looking for colors, but my Walmart, their DMC section is not organized at all. They don't even have a full line of the DMC. It's just select numbers that they have. So I just picked up 20 flosses of different colors that I thought I might not have had in my stash, like the purples and the bright colors, because I'm more of a neutral person, so I don't have a lot of the real bright colors, so that's what I picked up. So, and they're 53 cents a piece at Walmart here in Texas, where I'm located. So that was my purchases for this past couple weeks. Actually, it's probably been close to 3 weeks since I've been on, but and then those are the items that I've worked on, and I've shared that. The only other thing that I'm looking forward to, and like I said, I was purchasing those DMCs, but I was specifically looking for the ones that go to my New Year, New Start that I'm planning, that I've shared in the other Flosstubes, the Mirabilia. So I'm still looking for a few of the flosses on there. I've got the specialty ones, and I'm using the white fabric that I shared the last time. I just have to cut it down to size. But hashtag Teresa made me do it is the sale that I'm talking about, and she's planning to start on January 1st. And you can start whenever you can, or even ahead of time if you want. I know I won't be doing it ahead of time. But my plan is New Year's Day, since we don't have company or anything. It'll just be my husband and I. I'll probably be relaxing and putting in my first stitches for this, which I'm looking forward to because I've never done a Mirabilia before. So besides getting a few more flosses for that, this is all kitted up and ready to go. And I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday if you celebrate. Again, I appreciate you watching whenever I come on. I've loved this whole past year. I've looked back at some of the Flosstubes and thought, a whole year now, and I've just now got my 12th one out. So it's been a little up and down, and I'm hoping in January to have a better system. I mean, we're always working at it, right? But like I said, I probably forgot something, and if I did, I apologize, and I do hope to get back here again in January for the new year. I'd love to learn how to do lives and get on and stitch with other people. I'm just not there yet. I think one of these days, you know, when I'm old and gray maybe and sitting on the couch and don't have other things to do, but with the grandbaby and, you know, our love of going out to the lake on the weekends when we can, and of course my husband, we do life, so I'm just hoping to get on here whenever I can. I'm hoping it's a monthly thing starting in the new year again, but until then, have a wonderful holiday, spend time with family, remember those around you, be kind and help when you can. Merry Christmas.